have been learning the routine of billiards ball magic too, because this sort of manipulation I have found it to be quite interesting. I won't say that it will suit my personality or not. Sometimes it's just the choice that you like to have, and if you truly are smart, maybe you can mold it according to your personality. But at least it uh, initiated in me a great matter of interest. Anyways, it was the Levent, that is a teacher of mine, billiards ball, that had first mentioned a magician, Tom Stone. Tom Stone is a Swedish magician who happens to have existed into the era of Tommy Wonder. He had in fact acquaintance with Tommy Wonder, one of the greatest magicians ever used. I keep mentioning, apart from that, Daryl. And when I talked about him, I said that he came up with various techniques for the billiards ball, and he came up with a story and purpose while you're doing the Eye of the Dragon, this ball. Anyways, it was because of him that I happened to know about Thomas Stone, and I'm really lucky. Few days before, I was watching a lecture from Tom Stone. Penguin Live streams the lectures that may range anywhere between 1 to 4 hours from the magicians who have a lot many things to share with the world, who like to buy the tickets as well as purchase the DVDs, because it's not about knowing the secrets, it's more about how you're executing it, because that's what separates the amateurs from the one who is experienced, expert. He demonstrates one experiment. He asked the MC that was holding that session, and he makes him sit in the front of the audience and hands him a mirror, and he asked him to stare right into his eyes and switch between the left eye and right eye, left eye and right eye. While he does that, he asked the audience whether you are able to see the movement of his eye. Yes, clearly they can. But there was one strange thing. The MC himself, the guy who was staring into the mirror, was never able to see his eye movements. It was all static. He says, our eyes, vision and brain are designed in a manner when you switch a gaze from one point to another, the things that comes in between seems to blur. He elaborates this by giving an example of a video camera in which it switches very fast, and when you happen to see a badly recorded video in which the camera is moving too fast, you will feel nausea and vomiting, and your head will turn and swirl, and that's because camera hasn't got the ability to manipulate the things by shifting the gaze from one point to another. It's recording at the same frame rate as it was doing earlier. That is what our eyes are designed, and it helps us to relieve our brain and not necessarily throwing it into the turns and vomiting sessions. Now, it was not about some medical term that you like to lay the light on. It was that while you're making the audience look from one place to another, there is a blind spot, and this blind spot is the one where you can do the dirty work. This dirty work is something that you will understand while you're in the field of magic, because there's something that is doing the work while your eyes are concentrated on that maybe you're putting on a ball and trying to pull something that where the audience is not looking, and suddenly it pops up. That is what you call the dirty hand. If something is there, you need to clean it or dump it in your pocket, in your lap, whatever. So he says that no matter what, you should always tune your performance, your actions in a manner that is in synchronization with this blind spot. Because if you do it in a natural manner, people will realize that how it's happening. They have been watching it all the time, but you are making them look in some direction without even manipulating, without even thinking or believing that they were manipulated. This is the real magic, because they have eyes on you all the time and still it happened. That is what you call real magic. And this was something that I have never heard across, come before. He must have heard it. He had this idea, and it really made me think that, yeah, nature's amazing. And this is what our abilities and the gaps is what gives birth to the finest form of art. And magic sometimes can utilize it, and it has kept doing so, and making people wonder at what it produces, vanishes, or transforms. So that's all from my side today. There you go. Bye. Take care.